about that bottom line, baby. It's about that bottom line, baby.
Let's make it happen, Captain.
KB 65 is live. 07, we're back. Yes. All right. I was not able to see any of this. So, here we go, right? Alpha 4.3. Let's see what we got.
We got one take. I'm here. We got one take. Let's talk about the elevator in the room. Now, up until this point, freight elevators were mostly used in single-player, short-term environments like personal hangars. There would usually only be one user, and on the back end, it would be stowed when you left, and a fresh new freight elevator presented every single time you went back in. Now, while certainly not perfect, these tended to operate better than the ones out in the wilderness at, say, outposts, which, like many other things in the verse, tended to compound their issues over time the longer they were left to run. Now, of all the known issues with all the freight elevators in the game, most tend to revolve around simple things like it just doesn't work, and bigger problems like all my items have vanished and they're now lost forever, which itself can often tie into other issues with things like long-term persistence, which we're gonna have an SCL on with Benoit soon to discuss some new developments there. So if it's okay with you, we're gonna stick to freight elevators for the time being. Now at this point, I'm not really telling you anything that most active players don't already know. But it's important to note that these issues have been egregious enough that we'd already started a directed repair initiative months ago. It's just not completed yet. Obviously. Maybe
okay.
Super obviously. As with transit, when working these issues, we try really hard to avoid what are known as hack fixes and focus instead on trying to uncover what is ultimately the root cause that will create all this instability underneath. And that process can often seem like absolutely nothing is happening for days or even weeks at a time. So last month, what happened with Race for Stanton? Well, sometimes changing how we use old features can be just as painful as adding a bunch of new ones. With a higher concurrency in daily active users than any patch this year, large numbers of players were driven from their private freight elevators in their personal hangars to the more troublesome ones out in the PU. Statistically rare states became common, and less common issues became fertilized and grew into bigger, unavoidable ones. Although in many cases, this still took hundreds or even thousands of players using each freight elevator to manifest a single issue. Now, like with Transit before it, or the infamous 30K issues of old, who remembers those? The issues you encounter in the PU are not always due to one or two bugs, but often dozens and dozens of underlying conditions beneath and around it, which throwing thousands and thousands of players at have helped us address more successfully than ever before. And since the release of Alpha 4.2.1 and up until the recording of this video, we've identified the root causes of 44 individual freight elevator issues, with 20 of them being classified as blockers or critical, and almost all of them with causes only revealed by running thousands of people into them over and over and over again throughout this event. Now, in a phrase that should be very familiar to our software engineer enthusiasts out there, as we work to fix each issue we encountered, the resolution would often reveal another lying in wait underneath. But this is a good thing, yeah? We did all this intentionally to force progress so we can finally fix freight elevators like we did 30K and are still doing with transit? No. Now, while the project will definitely benefit from what happened long term with all the fixes and hardening that's been going in and that will continue to go in throughout Alpha 4.3 and beyond, the answer to what really happened isn't particularly exciting or salacious or any different than what I imagine most of you already suspected. We knew there'd be issues like there have been, but we underestimated how they'd compound on top of one another at higher stresses. It's been a sometimes frustrating process for everyone on both sides of the project. But at the same time, we're super proud of the content and cadence we've achieved this year, and of the strides all of our teams are making to make this the most compelling year of Star Citizen gameplay yet. For every single step backwards, I truly believe we're taking multiple strides forward, and the overall improvements to the experience along the way are what keep many of us motivated to continue going month after month. And with this new Onyx Facilities content drop being spread out over multiple releases, we're going to continue taking the time to improve existing experiences along the way. And to that end, as some of you probably have already heard, it was in the loading screen and whatnot, we're also going to go ahead and extend the Race for Stanton missions while we continue to work on freight elevators throughout Alpha 4.3. It'll mean another month for folks to try to dethrone Hurston from the lead they hit so very early, for you to earn any of the individual rewards that are still outstanding, and for us to continue beating on freight elevators about the head and neck with the proverbial pipe along the way. And all while you continue your exploration of ASD's latest malpractices. And speaking of which, we've also made the decision to keep relatively quiet on Onyx Facilities and ISC and beyond. We do this to better let you investigate and discover things for yourself. But that doesn't mean there isn't more that August has to offer. So let's go ahead and use our remaining time this week to explore the other aspects of this new release in Patch Report Alpha 4.3.
Wow.
For several years now, we've had these ground storms with rain and snow and whatnot, and those are sticking around for a while yet. But in Alpha 4.2, we continued to get our feet wet with the first iteration of dynamic rain. And now, 2 months later in this release, we're continuing our climate campaign with the nascent version of dynamic snow, which leverages the same system to sleet the skies wherever the surrounding situation is sound. Sorry. It's a small thing to let us avoid rain falling on snowy areas, but these incipient iterations will continue to develop both in gameplay and in its sights and sounds over subsequent releases. And meanwhile, in things you can wear and hold, almost every patch this year has had a new armor and weapon to discover. And in August, you'll find the new Specialist Light Stealth Armor. There are a few different variations floating around, including a neat ASD one, and this one from Wicklow. It's an interesting visor, but it does beg the question, with the blast shield down, how can I even see? How am I supposed to fight? To which the answer is, I probably shouldn't quote Star Wars, because Disney has lawyers. We've also got a new Volt weapon this month called the Zenith Sniper Rifle that, and let me read this text I have on the screen here from Zach, combines the raw punch of a charged sniper shot with the rapid fire precision of a marksman rifle. Which doesn't sound OP as heck at all, Zach. Now, there are some notes here about how loud it'll be and how important managing heat is, because if you don't, it becomes essentially inoperable, like me. And it's the latest in this year's line of Volt weapons, and like all the others before it, you can be the judge if its advantages are worth the trade-offs. Also, hanger respawning returns. Now, it's a small thing, but the ability to spawn directly into your personal hangar and get back into the fray should be a welcome one for anyone that's played the game for a while. Personal hangars are slowly becoming our first true homes in the verse, and this is yet another step in the right direction. Also another step in the right direction, spawning ground vehicles from the freight elevators, which is not coming in Alpha 4.3, but I've got a platform and I'm gonna use it to say everybody wants it, Benoit, and we're gonna find time to prioritize it for the schedule, after more fixes in the next couple months first. Let's move on to virtual currencies. Now this year we introduced Wicklow, the collector, and his emporium of esoteric effects. Not the actual name. And over the last couple months, we've seen vehicles new and old get added to his inventory as variants with unique paints and components. And that's great. Or at least it was once we killed the RNG thing. Yay! But what about the various ship shops in the verse? Where's my Golem, the Fortune, the Guardians? Well, in Alpha 4.3, inventories are getting updated with many of the most recent ships that have been released. What this means is, while you can still pledge for ships to support the continuing development of Star Citizen, and you can still work for those fancy component variants of many with Wicklow, you should also be able to pursue the base versions of newer vehicles for AUEC, and in a more reasonable timetable from now on. It's our way of saying, yeah, we'll be better at this going forward. It was Tyler Wicken's fault.
Oh, snap.
And while we're talking about spaceships, starting back in May and continuing with each monthly patch after that, the Vehicle Experience team began the next wave of flight tuning adjustments for every ship in the verse, hitting most of the heavy and medium fighters and interceptor subclasses within. Now with Alpha 4.3, it's time for some light fighters to get their pass. This includes adjusting SCM and nav speeds to increase variation within the class, altering the linear and angular accelerations, adjusting health pools, and even swapping out some flight controller components. Now there's a whole list with details in the patch notes, but if you haven't flown your light fighter in a while, maybe give it a go this patch. And while we're talking about light fighters, what would a patch in 2025 be without brand new vehicles? And for August, we've got the long-awaited debut of the L-21 Wolf. It's sleek, it's slick, it's kinda like a cool spaceship Rorschach test. See, some people see a fancy hot rod, some people see a Supermarine Spitfire, and some people like me see a Naboo Starfighter. But it's not. It's not Disney. It's the newest light fighter from Kruger Intergalactic, a brand previously known for the Merlin and Archimedes, two ships who share the same names as characters in an old animated film about King Arthur from... Now you can learn more about it in our dedicated Behind the Ships episode, also available on YouTube, and the L-21 Wolf will be flyable as soon as Alpha 4.3 releases. And lastly, let's go ahead and touch on this month's big content drop, the new Onyx facilities. Now this is a big swing from our environment, level design, mission, sound, and every other team that's worked on them. And that's why I'm not gonna say a whole lot. Everyone here really wants you to just get in there and experience them for yourselves. And don't forget, this is our first multi-part release of the year. So we'll open up that third and final wing eventually, and you'll find out what Dr. Yor and ASD has really been up to. It's more than just worm torture, I can promise you that. Ultimately, this month like this year, we'll continue to see Star Citizen pushing its development into lots of new directions. And quite frankly, some are gonna work better than others. Some are gonna take us a bit to figure out. And some are going to be some of the best and most interesting content we've ever released. Alina Mine, Stormbreaker, Onyx facilities. I just want to shout out all the work everyone on dev is doing to keep this year interesting and to continue improving the existing gameplay systems along the way. And then, of course, the continued engagement with the project from you, who are coming back month after month in record numbers to see where we're going next. And finally, if you are wondering why I'm at my desk, where I spend most of my day doing my other job behind the scenes that has little to do with ISE or SCL, there's this little thing called CitizenCon Direct coming up on October 11th, and the spaceship is currently locked down for the next 8 weeks filming for that. So be sure you check out the latest post on the Bar Citizen Global Watch Parties to find out where you can join our staff to watch it as it unfolds. You're here, I'm here, we got one. Why? I'm not going to say. Ultimately, this month, like this year, we'll continue to see Star Citizen pushing its development into lots of new directions. And quite frankly, some are going to work better than others. Some are going to take us a bit to figure out. And some are going to be some of the best and most interesting content we've ever released. Align and Mine, Stormbreaker, Onyx Facilities. I just want to shout out all the work everyone on dev is doing to keep this year interesting and to continue improving the existing gameplay systems along the way. And then, of course, the continued engagement with the project from you, who are coming back month after month in record numbers to see where we're going next. And finally, if you are wondering why I'm at my desk, where I spend most of my day doing my other job behind the scenes that has little to do with ISE or SCL, there's this little thing called CitizenCon Direct coming up on October 11th, and the spaceship is currently locked down for the next 8 weeks filming for that. So be sure you check out the latest post on the Bar Citizen Global Watch Parties to find out where you can join our staff to watch it as it unfolds. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for listening to me yak about freight elevators for 5 minutes. And I was going to do a joke here at the end where I pretend to push a button and the elevator takes me down beneath my desk. But considering the work that we still have ahead of us in fixing them proper, it would probably go a little something like this. I'll just say we know what's left to do and we're on it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
There we have it. ISC. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's just I guess I can appreciate the acknowledgement that, yeah, we're all on the same page. And we realize that it's complex. The issues are complex. And to me, it essentially looks like it's going to be a rework, or just, my analogy is a lobotomy. You take out chunks and replace it with fresh pieces. But yeah, to your point, Coffee, I am happy about that too. I've stated that, and we're both on the same page, because at the end of the day, bugs won't go away until they go away. And what I mean by that is, I don't care we get to 1.0, and from 4.3 all the way up to and beyond, as long as they're adding new features and new things to this game, there's going to be bugs. Now, the severity, we don't know until it reaches our hands. We play it and we realize, hey, this is severe or this is game breaking. But also there's the randomness of, hey, for example, what was it, 3.23, you would hear, oh, this is one of the best patches ever. So, in respect to that, or relating to that, that's only going to be short-lived until the next patch comes out. So my point is this: until they get the engine all in, I think once they do, then it's a countdown or reduction of bugs in the completed engine. But as long as they're adding new things, and that's going to be a continuous thing, I truly believe we're going to have these variations of severe bugs, not as bad, workaround. You're going to get this varied combination of whatever based upon what's new and what goes into the game and how extensive, in other words, how extensive or how complex this feature is. But I guess when you say the silver lining to this, it would be the developers at CIG. They are getting better and better at what they do, or they're getting acclimated to the engine. Especially someone like Benoit and people or developers on higher levels of skill sets. And I mean, that's just a part of it. I think hired help, people who get acclimated. So there's variations of how skilled they'll eventually become over time. And so it's just to say that's essentially the silver lining in regards to bugs, new features, and this cadence of a new patch, more bugs, new patch, old legacy bugs, new patch. Oh, we're understanding that it's not so much, or may not be exactly the same old bug. It's just the knee-jerk reaction to the engine because of the new feature. So it's giving us a simulated version or a similar reaction to an old bug. But overall, like you said, Coffee, it's the moving forward is the silver lining, is the part of it that is the most positive part to it. Because I think we've been seeing over time where CIG's been very, very cautious. And does that feel as though, is that the method that works for us in regards to some of us being feature starved, or there's a lull in the development that, you tend to go to play something else, or you tend to move your attention to somewhere else. And I think that's so important because we need to be able to want to come back despite the bugs. I like the aggressiveness. I call it aggressiveness. There's an aggressiveness with CIG that we're recently noticing, or we're kind of noticing, and it's good. I think it's good for piquing our interest as to what's new, and that's a good thing. That's really a good thing. But I'm kind of okay with them. I'm really okay with them acknowledging it and saying, hey, does that kind of calms people's nerves? To some, yeah. To some, no. Because it's just... It's the normal mode of operation in that regard. So it goes back to damn if you do, damn if you don't. But I think I can respect. I can respect their stance or their statement based on this ISC. I respect that, and it to me it brings a calm to me to know they are communicating to us, and I appreciate that. I sincerely appreciate it. And I'm good with that. I mean, I don't know about anyone else, and I can't really speak. I don't want to speak for anyone else. I just want to speak based on how I'm feeling about it, because everyone's opinion as well as how they feel about it will be different. But it's not to say I don't want to hear it. I'm okay with hearing their opinions on it, but for me, I can respect that. I'm good with that. But again, it's common sense to know as we move forward, you're going to always have these series of bugs that will give you variations and differences of complexity. But the other point of it is, watching the ISC, the other good point was, at least they're acknowledging the age-old, really gnarly and bad bugs that exist. The ones that really need to go away, need to go, get out of here, like the elevator. I'm excited that they're acknowledging it and saying, hey, look, we're going to get rid of this. And like, you know, I've expressed it. We all know the expression is the elephant in the room, and they're addressing it, and I'm okay with that. The fact that they are addressing it, I'm really good with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy about the aggressiveness, though. I can't say enough of it, because I want 1.0, or let's say I want the start engine to be complete. And then, only then, once you have at least a somewhat stable foundation that is Star Engine, that is a complete Star Engine feature or software engine, you can only get better with it. Once you have everything in, you can only refine it and make it better, and make it much better. And so seeing them, you know, advertising and pushing towards 4.3, that I think it shocked some of us. It shocked some of us that they're pushing it and they're looking to get it done sooner than later. Sooner than later. And wow, I was like, I wasn't expecting it to, you know, to be that close to being pushed. And that is really cool, because Jared just mentioned there's going to be updates to the elevator, and I think that was on the roadmap as well. Oh man, so, but I feel as though they understand that they need to be moving forward. There's so many other things that's going on. You know, a lot of games are soon to be released, and they really got to get a solid foothold with the community, and they got to resonate, something that's got to resonate, and that's going to keep us coming back over and over and over, and it's going to keep our attention, because right now there's, on the horizon, there's so many different distractions. What I mean by distractions are other games. And yeah, it's been quite a bit of people trying out those games, playing it for a bit, and then they basically come back And so I think we just got to, well, CIG has to know it's got to stick. They gotta have it stick, because the time for them to really have the backers' attention, or the community's attention, is right now, in the near future, because there's so many things coming down the pipeline. And I think they can do it. And that is by keep doing what they're doing, keep bringing out these features, keep adding to these patches, getting things done. And there lies the solution to their problems. I mean, overall, there's always going to be comments, whether they're mostly negative or partially positive. It's going to be a flow and ebb and different variances based on what they're able to, correct or fix. But I think the one common denominator that will equalize everything and keep everyone engaged is the fact that they're pushing these patches out. I can't say enough. And as things are getting closer to, as features are getting closer to a release, I love the fact that they're aggressively getting after it and getting it in our hands much sooner than later. I can't say enough about that. That is so much the right thing to do. That is definitely the right thing to do. And I'm really, I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Because it definitely keeps everyone interested. And you have grinders. I call them grinders, but there's players that will just, man, they'll lock on to the features in Star Citizen and they'll grind, like seriously grind. And all of us, we're not all wired like that. So maybe that is the best recipe of making sure we get timely releases, because the grinders will be your own advertiser, CIG. But again, foundational parts of the game that keeps us engaged. It makes you want to get back into the game and continue playing it. It does. Really, really cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff. But I'm excited, man. Get this freaking 4.3 out the door. Get it in our hands. Get it in our hands. All right, so I'm gonna jump in for a bit and jump in for a little bit. What do y'all think about the wolf? Woof woof. What do y'all think? Interesting. Jump in the game, make some UEC real quick for a bit. Let's do this. All right. And make some UVC. Let's do this. All right, I'm gonna jump in the game. All right, let's jump into some Star Citizen. Yeah, you think it's okay, Coffee? I mean, you're not a combat person, so not to say that you wouldn't do it, but I definitely understand. And that's spot on. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's being honest. That's true to your core of how you play the game. It is not a real need for you. So definitely understood. It makes sense. But I think at some point there's going to be conversation from Benoit, Chris, the ship vehicle teams in regards to PvP, PvE. They're kind of hinting around it, but they were talking about light fighters, and they've already made adjustments for 4.3. So the narrative is starting to expand on that. So yeah, we're moving back into the space of combat because that's the piece that actually is a mirror reflection to Squadron 42 that will be a necessary gameplay feature. But Chris also wants it to be fluid from Squadron 42 back into the PU. With that said, yeah, we're gonna see more of the single-seated PvP type ships until they can actually get a handle on the multi-crew aspect. So again, the engineering part is starting to come into the picture, right? Engineering, and then that's going to expand, but that's going to be the first step or the first foray into engineering, and which is, it's almost saying it's multi-crew. It's part of it's filling out the multi-crew aspects of ships. We're getting the Perseus, you're getting these larger ships now in game, and it's going to become a norm, but also the balance to that will be light fighters. And I think CIG is, what they're hoping for is the want and the need of engaging these types of ships in combat and battle, and they want it to equate to fun. When you're talking about capital ships versus light fighters versus other light fighters, so you have a conglomeration of variables between light fighters and multi-crew, large to capital ships engaging, and they want those engagements to be very complex. They need them to be complex. So it relates and it translates to replayability for Star Citizen. It makes Star Citizen a premier or a destination, right? So it's got to be good. They got to do it right. Now, is that right out the box? Of course not. This is about making it
Please consult any of our associates for help or rental opportunities.
okay. There's rumors that 4.3 is going to go live tonight. I don't know, man. What do you say, Coffee? Jump in chat.
Welcome to IO North Tower, Area 80's premier centre for business development. Please consult any of our associates for help or rental opportunities.
Hey, what's going on?
It's been in development for a while. That's 4.3. Okay. Oh boy. Let's get 4.2 out of here. Yeah, so it seems like their steps are ordered. They're moving at a decent pace. I don't know what the stress levels are like there in studio, but I think it's more the environment's got to be positive one. I'm feeling like it's positive because there's a lot of things that are moving forward, and to me, I get the impression there's a lot of motivation, high morale as well. And I think with the forward movement of these patches, there's a lot of creativity behind that. Fun type of pressure, not weighing them down, because it's like they're keeping things fresh, they're moving things, and I think with the more complex laden features that have issues, I think the senior developers are really diving in that because it reiterates the year of stability. So I think the incentive for the more seasoned developers, there's incentives for them as well. Hence why this narrative for the year of stability is a thing and it's possible. There's incentives for them. And I think they're the most capable in regards of being there for quite a bit. They understand a lot of the issues of the legacy parts of the engine. Now, whether, understanding it and then, peeling back those layers of onions will definitely make everyone cry. Just go to Reddit. But it's time, and I think the time is now. They're addressing it, but they're also moving forward too. Now, does that mean everything's gravy? I think no. It's everything is a work in progress. You have to. If you don't have time, check back time to time to make sure, to see what the progress is like, and there may be something that captures your eye. It's up to CIG to keep that interest, to keep our interest peaked, because this is a crucial time, because there's an imminent release. We're getting closer to release of Squadron 42. And as we get closer to Squadron 42, you want to make sure that part of the game, the part of the entire game is, there's two parts. One relates to the other. You're going to release Squadron 42. You at least want to make sure what we're playing right now is a destination. You want to get to a point where it's a destination where you're saying, okay, I've played Squadron 42. What's going to make me want to play the persistent universe and stay there after I've played Squadron 42? And this is not for the people who've been playing for quite a bit. I'm saying this is for the people who are just getting acclimated, who's just getting acclimated to Cloud Imperium games. And that's the thing. That's a reality. You know, the truth of the matter is there's people who don't know what Star Citizen is. Believe it or not. Yeah, still quite a bit of people who never played the game. And so the likelihood of discovering Star Citizen via Squadron 42 is likely because they're going on this high campaign period of making sure that if you never heard of Star Citizen, you're going to hear it via the advertisement campaign. And you're going to see the visuals, and then what they have to do is to make sure that those visuals, that exciting reel of advertisement that pulls you into Squadron 42, it's got to mirror the gameplay. It's got to be a one-to-one experience. If not, there's going to be criticism. More likely not positive criticism. Or just, I thought it was better than that. You know, but it could be worse things said based upon if it's not ready. So in the meantime, while you're playing and you get to the part where you've completed Squadron 42, this is, like I said, I'm only speaking to people who've never played this side of the game, the persistent universe, or who never heard of Star Citizen other than seeing the Squadron 42 advertisement. So you got to look at it and say that potential is there. That could be a reality. So they played the scenario, the one that CIG would love to play out. The scenario they would love to see play out is those number of people who never played Star Citizen play Squadron 42, excellent game, and they're sitting there after finishing and said, wow, that was it. Okay, there's two more chapters to this, but man, is there anything else I can do? And they realize, hey, this is here, right here, but this cannot be there once they're done with Squadron 42. And what I'm saying is, it's got to be a better experience. There's got to be more features. There's got to be game hooks that basically have you so pulled in and dialed in, like crafting. It's intentional. It's obviously intentional that you see crafting, you seeing engineering. It's not a coincidence. You're seeing more of core features being introduced. You know, they're going to introduce a redacted creature that's coming. So it's intentional. And the fact you're seeing the ISC, and it's intentional, is to say we are getting down to the root problems of the worst offenders, and that is freight elevators. And we're also talking about the logic of, hey, wait a minute, we're looking at what works, what doesn't work, what relates to what's related to not working. And case in point, Jared mentioned the elevators. One aspect in this side of the game, it's okay on that side of it. So they're looking to say, well, what works from that similar feature? So it's good that they are having that type of approach. But I've been saying this for quite a bit. I would love for them to take existing systems and features that work and seeing if they can recycle them. Like the Maelstrom system, that's the obvious, right? That's low-lying fruit right there. Like the Maelstrom system, it's giving damage state, accuracy of damage state, weights. I would love to see them recycle that into repair, true repair for ships. Like bring out the Crucible, bring out the Vulcan. But yeah, back to the point is, you finish Squadron, these people who've never heard of a Star Citizen, they play Squadron 42, have a great time, and at one point, the goal is to have 1.0 awaiting for those new potential backers, or at least as close as possible to 1.2. And I think this is why you're seeing this aggressive cadence, this more aggressive attack or approach to, let's get the patch dialed in. We're going to have bugs. We're going to have freaking bugs anyway. So you're going to complain. I'm going to complain. CIG is going to get frustrated with the bugs, but they're not going to go anywhere until they're fixed. But that should not mean we're going to tippy-toe to these patches, because that hasn't worked. That hasn't worked for years. The tippy-toe effect, to say, well, it's the best approach to get rid of the bugs, meaning we'll just tippy-toe and scrub. It's not working, man. So why not just get out there and get those features in and scrub it up as you go along? There you have it. There you have it. That's the potential solution. Knock one bug down at a time. The most obnoxious and rudest bug, knock them down one at a time. And don't get too many hands in the cookie jar. Because when you have too many hands in the cookie jar, you're going to end up with crumbs. And that's the case in point of why they're on this bug fixing initiative. They had to show proof of a game. And people said, hey, I can do this. And yeah, good intentions. I would say that. Good intentions. And they meant well. But now it's just, it is what it is, and CIG acknowledged it. We know it. For people who's been playing this for quite a bit, some of us suspected it, some of us knew it, but now it's out there. We know now. But it's okay. The potential alone. And I think we can get beyond potential by getting and staying on top of these patches, CIG.
It's about that bottom line, baby.
Come on, man.
Hello and welcome aboard your Drake interplanetary craft. Your systems are online. Quantum drive is now on.
One second, chat. Put some air on. Cool it down. I've got to cool it down. Yeah, I could see potentially the patch going live tomorrow. You think we'll hear Benoit next week at Star Citizen Live? I think when we see this week in Star Citizen, we may get an announcement. We're gonna hear from Benoit next Friday, maybe. Wouldn't be surprised. I thought it was SCL, Star Citizen Live coffee, or was it? Because I think with you know what? It's funny. I'm laughing about it inside because there's no way Benoit. There'll be enough time to do an ISC with the Benoit Beausejour. It's got to go over an hour, coffee. You know that. You know better than that. Ain't no way. What? Is it tomorrow? Maybe that's an impromptu. Maybe that's just one of those surprising ones that they're going to do, because I didn't hear about it being officially announced. I was thinking maybe next Friday. What do you think? Could you research it? If anything, if they're going to go live with 4.3, I think that would be the highlight. And then once it goes out, Benoit can give a post-mortem of what was going on with the elevator debacle, whatever, however we want to call it. Well, the issues with the elevators. He can further explain it once it gets released in 4.3. But I think the jury is out still on if it's actually a done deal, you know. But yeah, I would love for it to be tomorrow. I gleaned over the video and it slipped past me. But he did mention, but I know the only thing I heard was, hey, Benoit is going to talk about these elevators. That's the thing we suspected anyway. We knew it had to take his expertise to jump on that and to figure out what was going on, because I think a lot of it hinges on server operations. Let me go back to this. For some reason, it's weird lining up for me sometimes when I'm in nav mode. My ship gets really floaty. Odd. Okay, let me
Quantum drive is now
take off the cruise control. But yeah, it would be great if we did get it tomorrow. Unless it's off schedule type of deal. And I think the only way I'm thinking, if let's say you are right, Coffee, I think it would have to be a thing like he mentioned that he's working on the CitizenCon virtual. So I think that would be a perfect timing of giving content, and Benoit is probably, he's done his piece, or maybe he's in the studio to do his take on CitizenCon, so the timing would be perfect. So he's like, okay, I'm here. This is almost like a break for me just to talk about things because I'm so dialed into this stuff. So yeah, it's easy for me to talk about it. So stars could align very well. So with, Benoit being there in the studio, and it so happened they're talking about the latest patch 4.3 and what those fixes were. Why am I failing? Not enough quantum fuel. Damn. Okay, Kimmy, you're not keeping up.
It's about that bottom line, baby.
Fooled me, man. Look, the system's working. I'm not working. I'm not on point. But that was I suspected it was the quantum fuel bug earlier when I played. I think that'll be another bug that needs to be addressed. The quantum fuel bug. That'll be the next one. Let me find a pad and just refuel. Someone described what was the tankers or something. Okay, I'm all for bringing the pads out back, especially with Nyx. But I think Nyx, man, it just opens up a different dynamic. Especially, I think it caters to quick cargo hauling, quick access. I think that's going to change a lot of what we do in space in regards to cargo. And it falls into that TV series, The Expanse. Go to bed, you're tired. Yep, so I'm excited for Nyx. Nyx, I think the way they changed it, it's perfect for gameplay, for cargo runners. It's perfect. I think we're going to see something interesting. But what could that redacted creature be? They mentioned the redacted creature. My money is on the Boreal Stalker because we've introduced snow. They're really trying to dial that in, and I think it's going to intensify. I think we're going to see levels 2 snow. So I could very well, but then again, it could switch over to the Whippet Crab in Pyro because you have a creature, or you have creatures already all over the place, but one specific to Pyro would make that unique because I think Pyro, they have Copians and such in the Valakar worms. I think they have them over there too, but something exclusive like the Whippet Crab, there's a possibility, but I think that would be complex because it's the mother and it's like a hive of them. So for me, it makes sense that the Boreal Stalker would be the next creature. Definitely could be wrong, though. Okay. You know what? Man, I saw the Man of Steel, and I'm just like, ooh, Miss Henry Cavill, dude. Miss Henry Cavill. But here's the crazy thing, man. They're considering bringing him back as Batman in the James Gunn universe. I can't be mad at them for bringing back Henry Cavill if that's the case. But there's the other gentleman. He plays Reacher on the Prime series. He would be an excellent Batman. Either one of those guys. Oh, Wolverine. Oh my God, don't do it. That's Marvel though. Oh, but you know what? Hey man, Henry Cavill, make your money, dude. I am not mad at him. Make your money, man. Let me get his name. You know, I was one of the earliest people who mentioned that he should have been Batman. Alan Richson. He would be an incredible Batman, dude. He would match up to the mid. What's mid? He would be an excellent Batman. He would nail it. Coffee said, leave him alone, Kimmy. He needs to make that Warhammer movie. Yeah, no, and Highlander too. So he is super busy. So it may put him out of the running for Batman if that was ever a thing. Or I don't know if it's a rumor or not. It could be very well a rumor just to drum up controversy, you know, because it's Henry Cavill. He was like one of the best Superman who ever played the role. And Corn Sweat, he was against the gun, man. No pun intended. He was against the gun, man. Yeah, I did see that, Kurgan. I did see that, Batista. Well, I think it's actually going to happen now. Russell Crowe? And they have the rights for Queen's music in this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Yeah, I'll definitely... I'm a big fan of Cavill, man. I mean, hands down. Great guy. He's got the acting chops. He's got the look for it. He's one of us, man. He's a gamer. He's one of us. That's crazy. But I need to get that drum snare, man. I gotta add that, the drum snare. Gotta add it. Oh man, did you see that post I did with Intel, man? Gamer Nexus. Man, what is Intel not doing, man? Karma, man. Bada boom. Man, Intel is, woo. They're on Skid Row, man. And they have those federal dollars for the, but see, they have a foundry, though. People are saying they're going belly up, but they still have the foundry. They have a foundry. So there is still hope with them. But they gotta really come clean, because they really did some really low down stuff with their consumers, man. Yeah, they might just go ahead and get out of it. Who would they sell to? I think if anyone, it would be Nvidia. Woo! They no way in hell they would sell to AMD, but I could see them selling to Nvidia. There you go. We're on the same page, for sure. Holy smokes! Now you're talking about a dominating company when it comes to integrating AI, CPU, and GPU, a one-stop shop. And why stop there? Go ahead and make your own motherboards, NVIDIA. Hell, get it over with. It's like the console revisited. It's the console process basically, but it's still a PC. You know, one-stop shop. That was the whole concept with console. Everything's there. It's pre-built. No more configuring. It's like, put your money where your mouth is. You want an extreme system or you want a standard system? You know, you can, there's price points. But what scares me is NVIDIA may try to gouge their customers, man. That's what scares me. I hated what they did with the 50 series, and even with the 20 series. It's been crazy, man. Their campaign on that's got to go away. That's got to go the way. The supply and demand chokehold on the consumers. They created the word FOMO, fear of missing out. No monopolies. T word. What's the T word? Wonder 4 07 07 07. Kind of meander over here in the pyro area for some scraps. Oh, no, man. Damn. I don't want to be a smear on the wall. But you know, they're going to be jump tunnels that what do they call them? Dynamic ones. They're going to be more dangerous, but they're going to keep you away from campers. People who camp at established jump tunnels, the risk and reward. Yeah, you're randomly going into another system. It's no set place where you end up, but it's more dangerous traversing through them. But the pros to that is campers won't know what side or what part of the galaxy or that system you'll exit. Neither will you. But I think they should make them a little more dangerous too, navigating through them. Where there's you're going to accrue damage, if not be destroyed, if you're negligible on your navigation skills. Until people are like, oh, this is too hard, dial it back, make it a little easier. 07, sir. Have a wonderful night. Get those sticks going, dude. Get in the game. It's time to get in the game. It's game time.
It's about that bottom line, baby.
Let me get some freaking radar. CIG is making us use these, making us use the UI now. Should be working. Oh, I gotta go to radar. Qualcomm is, yeah, they're an old company. They are an old company. L5 is talking about health in the job. Head back home, dude. Get back home. Let me see, that's a ship out there. Woo! Let's see. A few clicks out. Is that attack or that's a missed ship? It looks like a missed ship. Oh, Qualcomm, that's them. Yes. I think that's a missed ship based on its shape. It's Starlancer Max. Yep. Let me go ahead and get some work done. Qualcomm. Yeah, they okay. I recognize them now. Oh my gosh. But yeah, if you have a foundry, man, it's. I mean, yeah, it's got to be pretty bad if Intel actually sells the company. You're owning a foundry and you're wanting to sell your company. Holy smokes, man! That's. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna go that route. I think they're gonna come to a consensus to say, "Hey, let's dial this thing up. Let's go all out. If we're gonna go out, let's go out swinging." And so, incredible gains on these chips they can create, and pretty much not trying to gouge the consumer. They got to do that, man. Ship's acting wonky. Is my gear down? Nope. You know what? Here's the old trick. Look, I'm getting no velocity, right? Watch this. Turn it off. You gotta stand up, sit back down. This is weird, but it's proved to work.
We're tonight's entertainment.
Oh, AC3 Nightmare 07. Thank you for the raid, man. How are you? AC3 Nightmare. Do you play Star Citizen? AC3 Nightmare. How are you? Thank you for the raid. Okay, I'll turn it back on and velocity. Voila, she's working. AC307. Do you play Star Citizen? AC, do you play Star Citizen? I was curious. Okay, getting some work done here. 07s. We were on SC race practice for the Anzia Stellar Endurance race coming up. Very nice. What is that about? You said endurance. To me that sounds like real life rally racing. Now, is it ships or is it the actual ground vehicles? Pretty cool stuff. How long you been backing, AC? How long you been playing Star Citizen? Are you fairly new to the game?
Tonight's entertainment.
Big 07. What the frick? As you would say. 07, 07, 07, 07, 07, 07, 07, 07, 07, 07, 07, 07, Meg. Okay, I'm back 3 years ago. Okay, nice. Meg, how have you been? What is going on, stranger? Oh, AC knows Meg. Everybody knows Meg. Oh my gosh. Meg, let me guess. You were playing Battlefield, weren't you? Yes. I knew it. I knew it. I saw your stream, Meg. You pretty much ran the gauntlet with the the Stanton stuff, right? Oh yeah, how is Battlefield? Are you liking it? Everyone is playing Battlefield. Yeah, yeah. People are saying good things about it. So, yeah, I think competition is good. It brings out the best in people. Good. It's pretty dang good. Oh man, it's not just good. It's pretty dang good. Wow. Arc Raiders. What is? Wait a minute. Is that already out, or is that something that's coming out? Because you said will be. Is that the dinosaur rider type deal? October 30th. Oh no, she said nah. October 30th. October 30th. Meg, how are you? What are you thinking in regards to 4.3? You think? Yes, it is the Dino one. Okay. Okay. Chat, what do you all think in regards to this 4.3 aggressive move? I'd say, is this CIG looking at the field of games that are coming and realizing, hey, we better get it together? Oh, Coffee even says looks good. Holy smokes. Does this have... I think they have done a great job of focusing on themselves. Games will come and go while Star Citizen continues evolving. Yes. Interesting. Yeah, I think my instincts were right. I think you're spot on. I was thinking the same thing. I just wanted to hear what the opinions were. I think they've seen this before, where games will come and people will play them, and then we all go back to Star Citizen at some point. And so they're saying, okay, we see this, so why not, instead of it being a game or alpha, let's work towards making it a destination. Meaning, we're getting the aspects of base building. They're throwing in crafting. They're throwing in engineering. They're bringing in these larger ships, and at some point, we're gonna have conversation about dynamic server meshing, more people in the game. So the next few patches, along with what we're going to see at this virtual CitizenCon, is going to shape what Star Citizen will look like going into 2026. Now, granted, I think I got myself all in a tizzy with Squadron 42. They don't have to announce or say there's an imminent release this coming CitizenCon. It could just be business as usual, making sure everything is shored up, because we still have yet to get the flight model. So we need that as a partner to, okay, this kind of flight combat, you'll see it more than likely. You'll see it in Squadron 42. So it should be that one-to-one experience, because if you're playing it in the Persistent universe, it should be very much identical, if not, similar to what we're playing to. So we're acclimated to what the situation and battles will play out as. I don't need new ships. I have a whole A. New missions are what I'm excited for. Yeah. All of these ships are for what? Well, here's the thing, Meg. I think the more people, the more variety of ships, it's a good thing, right? Because when you start to see its true potential visually, when we're talking about the numbers and masses of people, you'll be able to see the varieties of ships that will say, you know what, this looks pretty cool because everything looks full, as opposed to, oh, this looks cookie cutter because there's only these types of ships that you only recognize. So when you add more people, give them options to fly different ships, it will reflect the visuals in the game as well. So I think it's a good thing. And again, it's just CIG trying to reach as many people as possible and bringing them into the game to say, these are my options. And then the best potential out of that, you're going to see a sort of a way that players will kind of advertise that ship. It'll be an advertisement of that particular ship that they like. And you say, I didn't really like that ship, but the way that this person is flying it and how they are utilizing it, I'm learning something. And now I see why, or now I'm having second thoughts about this particular ship that I thought I did not like. And I think that's a good point, is that the variety of ships will always be, or should always be, a standard. Because when it comes down to it, we're not going to be stuck in Stanton. We're not going to be stuck in the 5 locations. The whole concept is they want 100 systems in game. And so imagine what that's going to look like 10, 15 systems in. So with that said, now for me, I'm okay with ships and things of that nature, the fighter ships. I'm cool with that. But here's the thing. I want the foundational ships that will shape what we do as far as being an economic force or a circle of life or necessity that we gotta have. Like, for example, Meg, your Pioneer is something that we need to see and need to have in game because it is essential. It is a vital part of the core of what Star Citizen is. When you're talking about base building, you need that ship. It's not just a ship, it's a functionality. The Banu Merchantman, when you leverage the economy system, it's a thing of, well, if the economy is doing a certain thing and you don't have goods, there's supply chain issues, because that's how economies work. You have the Banu Merchantman to leverage, to become a wedge for economic downturn in the game, which is a design of the game. And so, here's the other thing, true repair. I want that crucible to be a thing because like the economy, we're going to see the insurance system working in Star Citizen. So in order to keep premiums down, you rather go to a Crucible or a Vulcan and get proper repairs as opposed to staking a claim, because at some point right now it's just it's a foothold to say, well, do a claim, it's there. But what happens when the insurance companies become a real entity in Star Citizen? And now your claims are going to really cost based on how you operate, how you risk and reward. High risk, your premiums, your insurance premiums will go through the roof. That you may have to go with another provider because they're burning holes through your spacesuit with UEC. They're burning through it because of the risk that's involved. You're calling for a claim and you have custom items, maybe rare items that's astronomically high, and even your insurance company may even drop you. So let's say, for example, you are dropped and then something catastrophic happens. It may take you longer to get your ship back. You might have to do some strange things for your ship to get it back. I'm just saying, that should be behaviors and gameplay mechanics. And so, yeah, we need to have those ships that will leverage circle of life aspects of the game, which will it feeds into that simulation, real life, virtual life in a space, in a sci-fi setting, backdrop. I think that's some of the allure of why we're still here over the years and why we continue to play. And like you said, that key word, it's evolving. But yeah, I'm stoked for this CitizenCon always, because it's about what the possibilities are from concept to reality or virtual reality. And for some reason, I feel like this Star Citizen, it will be more based upon what's coming soon, as opposed to what's coming in the next 4 to 5 years. I think they want to be more grounded in what they want to reveal. Yes, always a treat, Coffee. I think some of us lament about, hey, we don't get to meet up with each other. We don't get to see the devs, talk to Chris, and see the event in real life, right? And then on the other hand, you have backers saying, hey, it's about time they become a little more frugal and save money. Their burn rate is very high. They need to save money. Those Citizen Cons are very expensive. I like to see my backer dollars working towards building out the game. So you're going to have always that dynamic of, well, it's not just it's Cloud Imperium games, but it's also the blending of the gray areas of the community and CIG bonding, and really getting themselves establishing a high morale for what's being done, and showing of appreciation that, hey, we're backing this and we believe, you know. Yeah, I think, well, that is so key what you just said, Coffee, because I take that statement. This is just a short breath before the huge Squadron 42 year next year. So taking that statement is very potent of what you're talking about. It's this. The devs, man, they are belting out a lot of features, and when you talk about 4.3, 4.4 potentially, and Squadron, I mean, and you know, along with that, getting ready for CitizenCon as well as Squadron 42, this is great for them just to wind down just a bit, because like Coffee said, it's going to be all hands on deck. I mean, it's going to be the full on advertisement campaign at some point when they announce Squadron 42 potentially. And so they want to be ready, but not only that, they want to have a period of rest, because it's going to be a very stressful time for the developers in regards to what needs to be done. It's going to be a shitload of work to be done. And right now is the time to kind of exhale and get themselves ready. This is Wishium. This is not hopium. It's not copium. It's Wishium. Yes.
It's about that bottom line, baby.
It's CRism. Chris said we got to get it done. It's CRisms. It's like, if I ever needed you, it's now. Now's the time. It is go time. I can't stress it enough how important it is now that things align and get themselves acclimated and just be ready for this wild ride, man. It's already a wild ride, but I mean, just really get it ready for a Squadron. Everything. And it's got to be polished, because anything less is not acceptable. Anything less is not acceptable. Anything less is considered a failure almost, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I mean, I just feel as though that would be the case, right? Anything less than that, it would not be acceptable. And it would hurt a lot of people there. It would hurt what we actually play right now. No pressure. Oh, I wasn't fast enough. Nope, it's gonna get jammed because I'm too slow right here. Well, that was all of them, I believe. Yeah, I did them all. Okay. Anything left? Just one. It seems to leave one in the hopper for some reason. Could that be a bug? All right, I'm gonna go back, fill up. Got a big ship. Have a big ship. I'm scraping, so. Always use the multi-tool with the tractor attachments, as it is easier to use on the small boxes. Nice. Yeah, I think it's. I like the way they're setting these tiers on these tractor vehicles, and you kind of can feel what's best to utilize. I think that says that they've developed that feature very well. And you get a feel for, like, I think I'd rather use that one because I understand what it does. So it lets you know that they've set the different tiers on how these tractor beams work. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, you gotta love the aggressiveness and the fast moving in these patch updates. Gotta love it. And I think we could just kind of dial back on like bugs that are not as nagging, but really just have a consensus on focusing on the bugs that are like the worst case scenarios and calling it out. And I think that goes a long way with the development and getting things dialed in. Like the worst ever acting bugs that are just game breaking, that will cause you not to want to jump back into the game for a bit until it's fixed. And I think elevators were one of those candidates. I mean, I'm sure there's other ones too, but yeah, the elevators that's a major one. And I think also in regards to, I'm sure there's other features like that in game, but I think if I would take that concept and see how I could apply it to ships, I would have to say the Reliant will be high on that list. It would be a high candidate. I know others I can hear you saying, hey, the interiors of the Carrack. Hey, man, what about the Reclaimer? The way the cargo grid is set up, it's ridiculous. You know, a lot of different ships based upon its game design and the approach on, hey, can you fix this? And there's another one, the Drake Caterpillar, the elevator doors and how they open. And I'm sure there's others, a lot of other ones out there that's almost like borderline, it's broken. I think that goes a long way in just saying, okay, if you make these improvements, you're basically creating your own money, CRG. When you're talking about, if you fix some of these major offenders in basic ships, how they function, like for example, I say the Reliant, and give it features that make sense, but you know, you enhance it just a bit, but where it makes sense. And I would say, I would call it out with how it transforms. It goes from the vertical to horizontal. I think in vertical formation, it should be close to like a Drake. What do you call that? The Drake. It's on the tip of my tongue. It was. Oh God, the Drake. Oh man, don't let me crash out on this one. Herald, the Drake Herald. It shouldn't be faster than the Drake Herald, but it should be like in second place in comparison to its inline speed. So when it goes into that mode, it goes into an interceptor mode where it can catch up to someone, except for probably all ships except for the Herald. And then it goes into the horizontal mode. It's very agile. The way its formation is, it's that horizontal formation. It flies well like an airplane. Has uplift in atmosphere. That, man, would just sell like crazy. People would just love that aspect, that versatility of that ship. Yeah, I think that would be great to kind of like rediscover the greatness or the potential greatness of the Reliant, the base series, how it configures from the vertical to horizontal, and it changes the flight aspects of it when it does that. Versatility. And I think I've heard something about the Freelancer too. It's an offensive one too. But how cool would it be in CitizenCon they announce the brand new Merchantman, or show that, hey, you remember this ship? Coming to you first quarter 2026 with the economy system. Ooh. People would lose it. Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. They would lose it. Yeah, but I think I'm wondering what is the state of the Maelstrom system? What is that looking like? I kind of think that you're seeing little bits and pieces of the flight model, like Jared mentioned with the light fighters. But I truly believe that they're waiting on Maelstrom to be done, because they mentioned that Maelstrom will have the capability to understand the entire weight system for each ship individually, and it will be accurate, not the handcrafted versioning that they have right now. It was mentioned too. I didn't realize that, but they saw the potential. They're seeing the ability. They're seeing the abilities of the Maelstrom system, that damage system. It's able to calculate weight and distribute weight accurately without any custom changes. That is a powerful tool. But at the same time, when we saw it first introduced a few years back, it was showing I think it was the Aegis Gladius came in the atmosphere around a compound or a landing zone, and they were firing, and you could see the bullets break into concrete walls, right? And things would fracture and break off in pieces, and they were saying, hey, this is the Maelstrom system. Fast forward, it has so much potential. I even beg to say, would it change the claw system on the Reclaimer? I don't know. But I think they're going to look at all aspects of what the Maelstrom system will bring to the table. Right now, it's definitely going to be part of the flight model. And that conversation that they mentioned about if you basically load your ship up with so much heavy material, the weight will be calculated, and you may not have enough fuel or thrust power to get you out into atmosphere, let alone into orbit. And so you might have to offload some materials so that your weight is compensated with the escape velocity. What is it, 33 times the speed of sound, I think, or something like that? The velocity, 33, to get into space orbit, to break the atmosphere, to get out of atmosphere. Oh man, doesn't seem to be any material on this side. It looks like it's broken up, but I wanted to fracture the ship. There's some material. 8.6. I think I can fill up that cargo grid down there a little more and get the rest, fill the rest of it up. Grabbing the material. Okay, what I can do, I can stop here and actually fill the cargo grid up real quick. Get the rest of the material. Here we go. Some more. All this material. Wasn't fast enough. I was playing the block the conveyor belt game. If I could keep pace with it. Wasn't able to. Failed miserably. Continue. Auto eject. Please clear the conveyor belt area. There we go. It's pretty good. Not bad. Noise. I think it keeps one in the hopper, so there's a will, there's a way. All right. Playing the box game. If that doesn't fit, I can slide it. The other one's over. Nice. Excellent. Excellent. I think it leaves one in the hopper. Very nice.
It's about that bottom line, baby.
All right. Let's get to work. Fill up that hopper. Wow, I can get another 13 out of this. Nice. Nice. Should be like 289K. 289K. Not bad. Let me see if I can fracture this. If it's working. Size exceeded, so it will not fracture. What about disintegrate? Grab that material. Point six. It's filling up fairly quick. Not bad. And more units. But I think with the game, it's always good to try all aspects of it, whether you like it or not. I think at the end of the day, it's about having a versatile skill set so that nothing is really a stranger to you as far as operating, interacting with things. I think it gives you an advantage, and it allows you to play the game, especially if you get bored of one aspect of it. You have all those other different variations of what makes the game. I think that's unique for any video game. When it's said and done, there's going to be more professions, more things to do, and then you get the opportunity to virtually stay in the game with base building and having your own base and location that you can actually set up, you travel to, as opposed to when you actually spawn in the game. Now with these bases and your homesteads, you spawn in the game as though you're waking up from out the bed of your home, and you go about your business of how do you make some United Earth credits or helping someone out. It's like a virtual life, but it's in a sci-fi backdrop where anything can happen. And so I think that's going to be an interesting part of the game where people can just get in the game and do nothing. Just literally just sightsee and then go back to their hangars or get souvenirs. Like, I personally want to be able to fish and catch exotic sea creatures that I'll collect them in my aquarium. Simple stuff like that. And it's just like, you mean you got in the game just to do fishing? Yeah. Yeah. Why? It was fun. It was challenging. And basically I was trying to collect things for my aquarium that's in my hangar to kind of, when I have guests over, they look at it and say, hey, where did you catch that? Oh, I was in that particular system. And yeah, I mean, things like that is just, it's a virtual life. But I think when they start introducing a lot more players because they want to be an MMO, and they're already moving towards that, it's going to be even more interesting when people from all over congregate in one location and then they're having these conversations. That's potentially there and will be a part of the game in the future. But right now, Cloud Imperium is showing us when you do this, when you get in this game, you gotta almost prepare. I think casual gameplay will fall into the categories of base building. having your own property and stuff like that. Maintain upkeep, expanding on it. Let me see if I can destroy the ship and break it into pieces. Let me look for another ship. I think that's just not much left. .1. Hopefully it's not a turret. Maybe a turret. Let's see. Looking to be more and more like a ship. Yeah, or wait a minute, not clear. It looks like a ship. Yeah, it looks like a Pisces. Looks like a Pisces. Let's see. Its shape and scale for sure. Yep. Yep. And we'll see 8 Pisces. Let me see if I can fracture. Power is on. Okay, so that means I have to blow it up.
Friendly fire. Friendly fire. Friendly fire.
There we go. Now I can proceed to fracture. There we go. I'm in fracture mode. Bust it up. Bust it up. Oh! I think the explosion is a way over the top for that feature. But it is what it is. Let me go ahead and disintegrate. Cleaning up the verse, one ship at a time. They're getting close. Oh, looks like another ship. Hope they're not camping. Is that a Talon or a what? Oh, a Hornet. A Super Hornet at that. Let's see what the parts are. See if I can fracture. It's probably gonna say power is on. Power is on. I will remedy that situation. Ooh, damn, that always gets me. Damn, that always gets me, man. Oh, crap. I'm gonna hit, oh yeah, I'm gonna fracture. Fracturing now. Okay, here we go. Over the top explosion. Here we go. Get ready.
Damn, son, you just hit with the wow effect.
Lisa plays 8607. 07, Lisa, how are you? Good evening, good morning to you. Time to disintegrate. Thank you for the follow. Do you play Star Citizen? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make a coffee. Yeah, we're Star Citizens over here. We love the game. It's ever changing, ever evolving, but it's something about that space genre that just hits us. It just hits right, man. Okay, 7.8. I'm almost full. Cleaning these ships up cleaning the verse up one ship at a time. All right, let's see. We have one. That looks like a turret. That may be zooming in, closing in. Let's see. Oh, it's a ship. It looks like a constellation. I could be wrong. An Aurora. I'll clean it up. There we go. Aurora LN. Cleaning it up. Clean it up on aisle 17. There we go. A little mild explosion that will work. That balances it. Fracturing. Now that's over the top. Then disintegrating. There it is. Disintegrated. Cleaning up the universe one ship at a time. Okay, it's more ships out here. Take them off the grid. That one's okay. This is less than 3 clicks out. Oh, that's a ship. It looks like a Robert Space Industry ship. It almost looks like a Retaliator. It could be the Zeus, maybe. Trying to get the footprint of the ship. Is it a Zeus? Ares. Way off. Way off.
Friendly fire.
In the ship cleaning business.
Friendly fire. Friendly fire. Friendly fire.
See if I can add to maxed out.
Friendly fire. Friendly fire.
Taking a lot of hits.
Friendly fire. Friendly fire. Friendly fire.
There we go. Fracturing. Breaking it down. This should fill up the hopper. Woo, over the top, man. Time to disintegrate. Targets in field exceed average. Okay, this should finish it. This should fill up the hopper. There we go. Filler station is full. Nice. Jump point detected. All right. Not bad. Now we see what the payout will be. Says jump point is detected. That's good, but I've never seen it in red before. This is something new because it's pyro. I don't know, or maybe am I not aligned with it? Okay, let's see how mine lined up. I'm gonna pass it and just, I don't think I'm lined up. It's probably why it's in red. So I'm gonna go to the Pyro jump gate. I'm at Pyro Gateway station. And come back, double back.
Quantum drive is now.
Okay, that helps me with it getting in alignment. There we go. Now it's green. Yep. So that is the indicator. When you see it in red, you're not aligned. Not a bug, but a feature. Here we go. Okay, no indicator yet that I'm lined up, but it looks like I'm perfectly lined up just about. Should kick on unless there it is, it's kicking on now. Yay. One of the coolest features of Star Citizen, the possibilities to travel to greater distances. Oh, it's waiting on me. There we go. Here we go. Dang, man. Whoa. No, I didn't get anywhere, man. I'm back in Stanton. I mean, Pyro. I didn't get out. It's flown through and landed yet. Wait a minute, are you hinting something to me, Coffee? Is that a hint or is that a challenge?
It's about that bottom line, baby.
Wink, wink. I was like, wink, wink. What you got for it, Kimmy? What do you got for it? Oh, snap. Oh, man. I'm still in freaking Pyro. Right. You mean stop the ship? Well, I think does it pull you and you're unable to stop? Oh, you mean like in Pyro in general, or just like doing something crazy like in the wormhole? We gotta do that, man. We gotta do that. Here we go. Here we go. Oh shit. Oh, my fuel is running low. It's the fuel bug is still back. I'm in Stanton. Woo! Made it to Stanton. Wait a minute. I'm not in freaking Stanton. I'm still in oh crap. Oh crap. Hold on. Just sit right back and you hear a tale. I need to refuel. Something's going on. Insufficient fuel. Stanton Gateway, let's do this. All right. Just sit right back and you hear a tale of a fateful trip that started with this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a fearless, what is it? The mate was a sailor man, a skipper, brave and sure, 5 passengers that sailed that day for a 3-hour tour. Weather started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. If not for the spirit of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. Damn, dude. You think it's because I don't have fuel? The mate was a mighty sailor man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers that sailed that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Weather started getting rough. Tiny ship was tossed. Not for the. If not for the. What is it? If not for the. Blah, 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 fearless crew. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. If not for the courage of the fearless crew. Okay, let me see if I can touch down on a pad. Maybe it's a fuel issue. I think, what is it? I have to store the ship to get rid of the fuel bug. I think that's a thing. Let me just call up. Restricted area. Wait a minute. When did
Please
this?
proceed to assigned landing bay.
When the hell did this happen? What restrictions? We're in freaking Pyro, CIG. What?
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Okay. This is a little off. Ooh-wee. Let me land and refuel. Hopefully this will cure. This is the workaround for the fuel bug. Hit another tab, come back, and you'll see it work. The mate wasn't that mighty. Hey, it was advertisement. And I think the rest of the series was like you were in hopes of. The hope was always there. Might be trapped, man. Hope I'm not trapped. Do not need to be trapped. I would love to see a marker for the jump point. Since it's stable, why not have it set up on your radar as a marker? Not a deal breaker, but yeah, it would be nice. Now the dynamic, you'll have to find that one. It's all based on your jump drive or the special jump drive. Yes, Wanda, I love it. It's grounded. It makes it look grounded. But but also I hope that they make the Meridian, the metallic version for this at some point. Oh, that would be epic for this ship. Okay, it needs to detect. Hope the jump point is not bugged out. Woo! We're about to find out. Here we go. Here we go. Trying for Stanton again. Look at my fuel. I thought I filled up, man. Holy smokes. Oh, I know. I was supposed to store the ship. For some reason, I cannot align. Oh, shit. Whoa. Hold on, let me... I got a fuel bug problem. I think I know what I have to do. I have to basically store the ship. I think that's the workaround. Not just land, you have to store it. It kind of resets it. Ooh. Man, it's just debris all over the freaking place. I gotta store the ship. I got the fuel bug. I have to store it. I'm not gonna get too far and then I'm out of fuel. Oh man, it's a mess around here. Yeah, I'm gonna store it and then call it back up. That's the workaround for your fuel bug. I'm about to test that theory right now. Let me see if it'll. See, no service. That's weird, man. And that's very weird. See, that's the fuel bug. Okay, let me get out. And am I too damn close to this? Yeah, I don't want to damage this shit. You see how close I was to that? Back it up. Yeah, I think the I don't want to blow this thing up, and I got the cargo in here, man. I'm gonna be real careful. You see how it's, look at that. Oh, that'd have been trouble. Epic fail. There we go, we're square. Like SpongeBob.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle
Okay,
has
here we
been
go.
restored. Please visit us again.
Something to drink. There we go. Took a while. Desync.
Welcome
Here we
to the
go.
ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following.
Okay, hopefully this is the workaround. We'll see. Testing the theory. Just checking my manifest here. Yep, just checking my manifest, that's all.
It's about that bottom line, baby.
Let's make it happen, Cap.
How's my fuel? Let's see, chat. We'll see. We'll test it. Hopefully, the jump gate is in sync as well. Oh man, when are we gonna coffee? Do you think? When are we getting that Vulcan test? Could that be tomorrow? That would be sweet. That would be so sweet if we get it tomorrow at some time. They said they were going to work on it, but I presume we may even get it on the weekend. Wow, it's a lot of debris out here. Let me slow it down. I need to get my bearings right. Oh, I think it's off to the right. There we go. Man, there's so much freaking debris out here. Oh boy. No shields, no problem. Yeah, looks like, wait a minute. Nope. Well, yeah. Fuel is good. Fuel is good. Even though it's red indicator, it is 1-to-1. So that I presume, I think that is the workaround. I've heard that before where you have to dock your ship. Oh, damn. When did all this debris get out of here? Shoot, man, this is problematic. Just sit right back and you hear a tale. It's open. It's like, come on in, man. Water's fine. Closing? Oh, you son of a gun. Oh, that was foul right there, man. Really? Opening. This looks odd. Oh boy, here we go. Come on, Stanton. I think I still have the fuel bug though. That didn't work. Welcome to Stanton. Woo! Made it. Man. I was a little worried there for a second. Good, I have the fuel to get there. All right. Woo. Heading home, baby. Heading home. With the booty in tow. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, fuel bug is still present. Do a claim on the ship. It can reset itself. What I like about the fact of the matter is, what I like about this is that I can do a claim and all my parts are default. There's no custom parts that I have to really worry about with the Vulture. So I do a claim, it is what it is. I get it back in the same state. But yeah, I think that's another bug that has to be figured out for sure. All right. Damn, I got here quick. But then again, the ArcCorp is not far from the Pyro Gateway. Memory serves me well. It's not far. Yeah, man, we may get that Vulcan test tomorrow. But I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm just going to see. It'll be interesting. And now, Coffee, you got me thinking, do I need to look out for that Star Citizen Live potentially with Benoit? Now you have me wondering if we'll see that. All right. The city of Stanton. Man, when they get these clouds dialed in once and for all, whoo, majestic. It will be majestic. Okay, let's see. One bug at a time. Let's get those freight elevators right. Shoot, man. How beautiful. How beautiful is Stanton? Area 18. Here we go.
Shield system online.
Oh wow, somebody's taking off. I think, man, that could be a potential problem once we get heavy population in these areas. They may have to revamp the landing zones or spread them out in sections due to potential massive amounts of players, or relegate us to the hangars or, well, bases. So these areas won't get overcrowded, heavy populations. Okay, let's see. Freight elevator. Oh, no. What are you doing? What are you doing? My pedals are so sensitive. I had to put my heels on the back end to keep them stable. They're super sensitive. Okay, here we go. Oh, damn. Let me turn around. There we go. Fast delivery, man. Get it done. Get that payout.
It's about that bottom line, baby.
Let's get that payout. All right. Moving cargo. See what that payout is. Oh man, they said there's going to be precious cargo. You can't bump it. Holy smokes. Or volatile. Let's say explosive. You can't bump that stuff around. Holy smokes. No pressure. None. Cool, 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 cool. All right, and as you know, chat, I have some in the hopper. Another 13 SCU. Here we go. It's one. Oh, let's go. Sleeves rolled up, baby. Let's go. What happened? It wasn't blocked. Down to the last four. Here we go. Two more. That's it. It cleared everything this time. Just one left. Should zero out. Nope. Let me see if it'll craft something. No. So I can store it in the ship. Have accessories start to where'd it go? Nope, that's weird. It's like it's disappeared. Very strange. All right, here we go. Level this ship up. See what the payout is. All right. Gotta see that payout, man. I'm excited.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval
See
System.
the payout. Very curious.
Your vehicle has been
Oh, just missed it. Just missed it. All right. The views, man. It's all about the views. One day we'll have apartments. You can, on the rooftop, taking off, landing. Cool. We're here. Let's see. I should have. There was one box I was missing. I could have added to the ship. So, thinking about numbers. Thinking about my numbers. Oh man. Area 18. Okay. Okay. Wow, 204K. Nice. Not bad. All right. Awesome. That wasn't a bad run, chat, huh? 07. Look, I'm looking to do this tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna crash for a little bit and get back in the game and make some UEC. I'm gonna test out the do some bounties with the wolf and see what that's about. Yeah, I do a little bit of PvP, PvE. Just to keep, if there's a need for security and not, yeah. But chat, I want to thank you for hanging out with me this morning. Holy smokes. I'm going to do this tomorrow morning and let's see if we can make a run of it. Yes, 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 yes. 07, let's see. Man, it is late / early in the morning, man. Oh, man. At 07. Yes, Wanda. We gotta jump in the game and do some ops, man. Make some UEC. Have some fun while we at it. For sure. Again, I'll be up all day tomorrow. And let's see if we can make a run of it. For sure. '07s, everybody. See me in the morning, and hopefully, Coffee will. We might see Benoit, and we might get that the Vulcan preview tomorrow. I hope so. Everyone, thank you again. '07s. Let's do this soon, like this morning. '07.
Let's make it happen, Cap.
It's about that bottom line, baby.